Welcome to the Holistic Growth Podcast, navigating business and natural health and functional medicine, where we bring you insights and strategies to help grow your practice and amplify your impact. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Holistic Business Podcast, hosted by GetHealthy.store. I am your personal host, Dr. Tracy, and I am the Chief Health and Growth Officer right here at GetHealthy.store, where we provide solutions for healthcare professionals in the industry pertaining to e-com and dispensary. Today, my very special guest, my boss, my mentor is here, John Armstrong, who is the CEO and founder of Get Healthy Store. So welcome, John. I'm so excited to have you on finally.
My pleasure. Thank you for the nice intro, and always enjoy working with Dr. Tracy. So look forward to talking today.
Yeah, us too. Well, I think starting at the very top of how did this all originate, we want to know that story. And we have a very specific topic today. We're going to be talking about affiliate links. They came out hot and heavy after COVID, and a lot of practitioners needed them. But I know your feelings on it and my feelings on what affiliate links do to actually break down the brand of a practitioner. But I first want to hear your background. How did you get into this? And then how did you come to think of this idea of Get Healthy Stores? So give us a little bit of background on you, and then we'll get into the origin story.
Sounds great. So my background professionally is, I've been a business guy in technology for way too long, decades. So that base was really, I learned how to run a software company. And in the 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, I ran a technology company that did online marketing, customer acquisition for Amazon as a first customer. So that is where I gained a deep background in e-commerce, digital marketing, and really relationship selling. So that's the point that is really relevant to this industry. Fast forward, I was an early adopter of functional medicine. I did my own preventative physical like 15 years ago, and I had cancer. I had leaky gut, and I've been gluten intolerant probably my whole life. So all kinds of issues, and I began working with various functional medicine practitioners. And my experience in working with them, especially with purchasing products, was very disjointed. They would say, "Hey, here's a private label that I have in clinic. Here's a distributor, a third party distributor. Go to this site, but this brand that I really like isn't on that distributor. So go to this site. Here's a code to use for that site." And then for non-supplement suggestions, so lifestyle products or biohacking products that are so popular today, they would give me 5, 10 affiliate links. And they'd be like, "Here, go get these." And given my background in online commerce, digital marketing, relationship selling, I was perplexed. I was like, this is a relationship business. Why am I not just buying from my trusted health advisor? So those were kind of the inputs of, as I I'd finished a company that I'd been brought in to run, and was looking at the space with another friend of mine. We started going down the path of talking to some practitioners and understanding what they were doing with the distributor versus what they really wanted to do. And that was the genesis of Get Healthy.
Wow. Well, it's funny because I hear you tell the story all the time, and I'm like, we didn't know it was that broken, John. As practitioners, that's just how we did it. And, I always say to practitioners, I know you didn't get into this to be a business owner or a marketer or even an e-com specialist, but when COVID hit, we all had to learn very quickly. But when you put it out there the way you do, we didn't know any better because there was nothing out there like GetHealthy.store to solve that issue in the industry. So, can you give us, for people that don't have a store yet, right? We could always offer a free demo to anybody that's listening. So, please go to the show notes and schedule that because you're going to want to have a store after you hear John talk. But can you go through what Get Healthy is and why its position in the industry has actually solved for some of the issues you're talking about?
Well, first, um, the NBJ did a study a number of years ago and looked at what consumers valued in their relationship in working with functional medicine practitioners.
And
What
that's
what
the
were
Natural Business Journal,
Nutritional Business Journal, so
Nutritional
kind of
Business Journal.
the trade rag for the industry that has the NBJ Summit in the summer, and everybody knows Tom Arts. That study said that there's three main factors in driving a relationship and ongoing relationship long term with a functional medicine practitioner: quality, trust, and convenience. So if you think about my buying experience and the typical buying experience today from a consumer working with a practitioner, um, we 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 trust inherently our medical advisor. Because of that trust, we feel like we're getting quality of analysis, quality of diagnostics, quality of relationship. So it comes down to how can I provide that convenience? And that's what my disjointed experience, and I think the disjointed experience that many buyers in this industry have that don't really maximize those other two factors, the trust and quality that are inherent in working with practitioners in our industry. So Get Healthy really tried to solve that. I looked at this and I thought, you know, um, every time they send me to a third party, be it FullScript, and then they follow on with some affiliate links, and then uh, go over to a patient direct of an individual brand. That really is an invitation to go to Amazon. Today, um, the consumer mindset is dominated by Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping, and in this industry now, almost all supplement brands are available on Amazon. So when you're thinking about the customer experience that you want to provide, just as you would for your clinic when you're decorating your clinic, if you have a physical clinic, or when they first come in and engage with you, either online through a telehealth session, what's that experience that you're giving them? Obviously, you want that to be a positive one and reinforce who you are, what you represent, your practice value, your value to them, and reinforce that relationship, that brand of yourself that you have, not sending them to, unlimited number of third parties. So Get Healthy really is an extension of your practice. It's
Yeah.
one of the things to think of is is these shopping walls that I'm the shopping experience that I'm giving somebody. It's just like if they're in clinic and they're getting checked in,
Mhm.
and then they're going to go meet with somebody, maybe one of your associates, and then you meet with them for a while, etc. So your online experience, Get Healthy, really is just an extension of your practice. One of the things that was very important to me in creating the platform, I didn't want to be competing with my practitioners. I'm not trying to get branded with consumers. Our goal is to reinforce the relationship between the practitioner and their practice with the buyers. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a how can we highlight that practitioner? So our stores are owned by practitioners. This is not, you know, sending consumers to Get Healthy to buy. We don't sell direct to consumer.
Yeah. Well, I
We
think
help.
let's stop on that point because you had talked earlier about third party. I don't think people realize, I'm going to say practitioners don't realize what they're getting into when they sign up with these third party distributors. They think like, oh, this is mine because I have an account under X instance, right? And so what they're not realizing is those third parties are emailing their clients, making suggestions. And, I love Amazon for what it does, but I know I'm going to get, upsold to something else. Maybe my practitioner doesn't want me to have that. And they don't have a Get Healthy store, so they have no other way. to get a product into a person's hand. So basically what happens is they send them off to Amazon and all of a sudden they get marketed to buy something else or, other distributors. So I think it's important that we realize that we don't own that experience as practitioners. With Get Healthy, we build individual websites and those are owned by the doctor. The patients are owned by the doctor that owns those websites. That's such an important point because in our heads, John, as practitioners, we don't look at the way you're looking at third party. We just look at it like I have an account, it's my account as a doctor, so therefore people go to my account. But they don't realize all the back end marketing that goes on to take those people into a different experience than what I want for my clients. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that and if you want to expand on that at all.
Yeah, when I started the company, I went and worked with one of the best law firms in the country, DLA Piper, their head of healthcare. And she asked me the question, John, who owns the customer data in your model? And I said, well, that's obvious. The practitioner owns the customer data. It's their customer. As I just said, I wanted to highlight the relationship between them, their patients, their buyers online, etc. So one of the things that we've done from day one is we have a disclosure agreement called a business associates agreement, which basically states explicitly that the practice owns their data. We don't have any rights to do anything with it. We can use it in the course of business of supporting them, but we don't turn around and all of a sudden them starting to get an email from Get Healthy trying to promote whatever. And that happens in every time a practitioner sends a buyer to any third party, they have given up ownership of that customer, and the third party that receives them has the right to turn around and start marketing to them. And that happens all the time. So our goal, once again, is to help practitioners and help them with their patients and help them market to their clients, because this is a relationship business. You're looking to provide as much value. I like to say our clients would love to have a patient from cradle to grave. And
Well,
that is
grave's
what,
not the goal, but
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just think practitioners should think about, I'm sending it to a third party. Are they doing what I would want? And are they reinforcing me and my brand and my relationship? And the answer is going to be no.
right.
Um, I think one of the most egregious examples is where you send them to a third party to buy a certain product, and if that product's not in stock, that third party is going to turn around and suggest some other brand that they have good margins with that you don't
Mhm.
know anything about, and you don't know anything about the fact that they happen to be out of stock, which they are a lot. And now they've suggested some other brand that you have no idea
Right.
anything about them. You've never used them. You don't have a relationship with them. So there are things like that that go on that people should just realize, unless you're owning the customer experience under your brand, that stuff's going to happen.
Yeah. And, as sick as people are today, if somebody has something like mast cell activation, I don't want them being suggested. They're not going to know not to take it. They might have a reaction. Then they reach out to me and say, hey, what you said to take isn't working, but I don't know they're taking something different. So it does matter. That would be like a practitioner sending a pharma script in for a pharmaceutical that they want them on. And then all of a sudden the pharmacy starts marketing for other pharmaceuticals. Like that would never happen. You know what I mean? But they do it with supplements and they don't think about it. But we as practitioners need to.
This episode is brought to you by Myos MD. What if there was a natural way to reduce the muscle loss we all experience with age? Let me introduce you to Myos MD. Myos MD is a powerfully unique supplement designed to reduce muscle loss, whether it's through aging, injury, illness, or weight loss. The secret? Fortitropin, an all-natural bioactive compound developed by top scientists and researched at some of the world's finest institutions. Here's how it works. Fortitropin has been clinically shown to lower myostatin, increase muscle protein synthesis, and reduce anabolic resistance. In fact, in a double-blind, placebo-controlled study at the University of California, Berkeley, men and women aged 60 to 75 saw an impressive 18% increase in muscle protein synthesis with fortitropin compared to a placebo. And subjects saw these results with no additional exercise. This isn't just a supplement, it's science in action, helping your patients build muscle, recover faster, and live powerfully. To learn more about the research and benefits of MyosMD, visit myosmd.com today.
All right, so getting to the topic at hand. So all extremely awesome. I know that your technology has changed my practice. I share that all the time. It has made me more efficient, more profitable, my clients more compliant with what I put out, the technology, the marketing, like everything. And it is robust. And that's why we give account managers to everybody when you get an account. So again, get your demo because you're going to want a store. But let's talk about the solution of affiliate links. I really feel like the COVID years brought back two things: QR codes and affiliate links. Like they resurrected them, right? And it was really a move, I think, on the behalf of practitioners who didn't have an online digital solution to get product into the hands of their patients and clients because they were brick and mortar. And then all of a sudden, the world shut down. They couldn't have patients come in and pick up their product, and they had to figure out how to do it. I was working at a brand at the time, and our solution was, hey, free drop shipping to any of your patients and clients. If you just call in, we'll drop ship whatever you want to them. And we did that for 2 years through COVID. It was a great solution for doctors. Then that turned into an affiliate, right? All of a sudden, these brands are coming out and saying, hey, if you sell our product, you'll make a percentage. Here's your link. But it's not their website. It's not their store. It's the brand that they're selling. It's their store, which you just talked about, which is going to get wrapped up into an experience that practitioner may not want their patient to have. So can you touch on affiliate links? What are they? What's your opinion of how they hit the market? And just let's start there with that conversation.
Well, affiliates have been around since the internet's been around. It's kind of like, hey, you send me some traffic, and if I make some money on it, I'll give you what I consider to be a small spiff of a commission. So there is value in affiliate relationships in certain instances. As an example, a lot of our practitioners are doing virtual conferences, and you want to get traffic from other practitioners who have audiences to come to your online conference, etc. That's a good usage of that. You're trying to get traffic. You're trading, in effect, traffic from other influencers in the industry to get more people to come to your online conference. That's great. In product purchases, though, that's not what's happening. It's not trading of traffic. It's really when a practitioner uses an affiliate link, it's easy. That's really a big driver of it. Well, it appears to be easy. We hear horror stories, which I'm sure everyone out there has had, where affiliate links don't always work. That they change, your code changes. You have many of them because you have many downstream product companies that you start working with, and you find over time that managing of those affiliate links and relationships and codes and all that goes along with that is not seamless and changes over time. But let's go back to reinforcing you as a practice. Okay, so when you send them to a third party, your goal really is to provide as much value to whomever's buying from you over time. It costs money to acquire a customer. Marketing dollars, going to conferences, speaking, whatever you're doing to generate traffic. Once you get them kind of engaging with you, your goal is to give them as much value over time through good content marketing, blog posts, other webinars, etc. Maybe being in patients, all the above. So when you're using an affiliate link, let's say for a downstream product company, just know, number one, that's not reinforcing your brand. Number two, the potential for them to buy is binary, meaning you're sending them to go to buy one product. They're either going to buy or not buy. They don't have a shopping experience. It's a buying experience. If you sent them to your store under your brand, that's a multi-category store with multiple products. We've all gone to Amazon to buy one thing and we buy 4 or 5. That's what happens when you provide them a branded experience under your brand versus an affiliate. It's like, well, I sent them to go look at this one product. They're going to buy or not buy. So you might think you have a 50-50 chance in that binary example. It's actually worse than that, though. In online marketing, in the affiliate world, there's 2 factors that come into play. The first is what's called a cookie window. Cookie window is the duration of time after you've sent that lead that somebody has to buy, and if they buy within that time frame, you're going to get your spiff of a commission. Typically, that's 30 days, but product companies own that. Okay, so it can be as short as 4 hours, 8 hours, 48 hours, 7 days. It differs, and typically they're not going to offer that up to you and tell you exactly what that cookie window is. So now you're like, okay, they're either going to buy the product or not. So my chances are 50-50 maybe, but I only have a certain window. And we know in today's world that consumers take oftentimes 6 to 8 interactions before they buy. So you just hope they buy within that 30-day period when the product company is tracking that to say, this is Dr. Smith's referral to us. Unfortunately, there's something else that comes into play, and that's called retargeting. So any good product company is going to take that IP address from the computer that you sent. Let's say that you wrote a long form post on detoxifying the body with an infrared sauna, and you had a call to action button at the bottom, and they read it and they're like, man, me and my wife have been talking about this. Click, and they go to that product company. Well, immediately product companies have that set up to go into their retargeting campaign. So this has happened to us all. I click the link today. Tomorrow I'm on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and there's an ad, not only from that product company, that infrared sauna company, but now I'm getting like 3 or 4 other infrared sauna companies. That's retargeting, because now whatever your source is, Facebook, Instagram, etc., they've marked your profile as being interested in infrared sauna. So any infrared sauna company can go in and do specific targeting. So tomorrow you're getting bombarded with these ads, and let's say you click the brand that actually you were sent to and you buy the next day. Okay, in this example, doctor sends the lead today. Product company immediately puts that into a retargeting campaign. I get a post, I get an ad in my Facebook, I click it, I buy tomorrow. Guess how much the practitioner gets paid? That would be 0, because downstream affiliate is running what's called last click attribution. So the last click in this example, they had to spend money on that retargeting campaign and they clicked it. And so the logic is, well, what really drove it was our retargeting campaign. So that's another pitfall. So in this instance, you have a very small chance of them actually buying and you getting paid. But in all those scenarios I laid out, after that 30-day window, you no longer own that customer, and the product company does. Think of this. When they do pay you a commission, they book that on their books, on their financials, as a cost of customer acquisition, because their goal is not to pay you a bunch of money long term. Their goal is to acquire your customer and then turn around and market to them themselves and them to drive value to that customer long term. That is completely contrary to my belief and my goal of helping practitioners have that long-term relationship with their buyers, with their patients' families, those that they're influencing through good content marketing online. You own that. So you need to keep that customer in your 4 walls, your 4 virtual walls. That's what the GetHealthy solution was built upon, was how can I help the practitioner deliver value over time to the people that they acquire? If you can add more value than it costs you to acquire that customer, you have a good long-term business.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot for practitioners, I think, to let sink in, and there's probably a little bit of grief happening right now for practitioners that are listening, like, oh my gosh, I've been sending my clients away. So that cookie window, knowing that your affiliate link has a cap on it for how long it will work. So, I know people have put out podcasts and talk about products, and whoever listens to that will click on that affiliate link and go there, but not buy. And then a couple of weeks later, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I wanted to go buy that product, except they don't go back to your podcast. They remember the product company name and they go directly to the website. And then you're completely cut out, and then the retargeting, that's a whole different aspect. But I also think it's just, it's just a lot for clients and patients to remember when you have multiple affiliate links. It's a lot on the practice and the practitioner to calculate all of the funds from all of these multiple affiliate links. Plus, every single company uses a different affiliate software. So you have to put in your payment amount. You have to put in how you're going to receive money. You have to go check. I mean, it's just chasing down dollars. It's one more thing that we have to do, plus learn a software. I would rather they have a Get Healthy store, learn one software, get paid every single day, and know exactly what orders are in process and have been completed and be able to dispense from the back end. So I don't know. For me, it makes perfect sense to have a Get Healthy store, but I'm a little biased.
Well, let me tell you one anecdotal story from one of the largest influencers in our industry, one of the largest sellers in the industry, and I won't mention the name, but um, the business owner said to me one day, he said, John, we've built a lot of our business on affiliates, but we're trying to unwind it. He goes, we still though we have 50 plus affiliates. He goes, you know how many systems I have to sign on to know if I've sold anything?
I know.
50 plus.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have to go to every one of those. And another a little anecdotal story, a couple in the industry, where one's the practitioner and one's the business person. They, flat out told me, they were like, yeah, we've been working 2 years to unwind our affiliate,
Wow.
because we figured out just exactly what you said, that we were feeding many others a client base who was very engaged, because we do a good job with engagement with our clients.
Mhm.
And, even the trading of traffic, we found that, we weren't getting the quality and the value out of what we were receiving. And we were giving away a great audience that was purchasing. And so we don't use affiliates today. So just some examples from some high volume sellers of, lessons learned from them over time. You know, Using a third party distributor and affiliate links is easy. So if you think of the evolution of a practice, people start using them early in their practice because it's easy. And one thing, easy is not typically best for what's best long term. In our industry, in a relationship industry, use affiliates as you need to build traffic, build your practice. But I think most people long term, if they had the ability to keep people within their four virtual walls, create that shopping experience instead of a buying experience. Buying experience, go buy this product. That's what they might do. In a shopping experience, you get them engaging with you. They start playing around on your site. They read your content. They go to your store. I mean, it's a virtuous circle when you keep people engaging with you in the various ways that our practitioners do today, and reinforce that with a commerce capability that is yours, that you own. One time when I started the company, a practitioner that had done this, and I actually asked her, why didn't everybody do this? She said, John, because it's hard. You got to build a store, you got to manage the store, you got to hire a developer, you got to manage the merchant, you got to manage customer service, then you got to figure out where your products are, and there's just over and over and over more steps to do.
Mhm.
So our goal was to take those tedious things, the minutia of running an online commerce, out of your need to do, and let you focus on what you like to do best, which is
Right.
engage with patients, help people have better health, but provide you with a a leading edge capability to engage with your practice without you having to manage the whole thing and go to the efforts to do so, not just to build it, but then ongoing. Things like sales taxes. Sales taxes are due based upon product type and where the products are sent. And there's various factors that come into play that drive that. You take care of all that. So those are things that when people jump into doing something on their own, they learn over time. They're like, I don't want to manage my Shopify. I have a hard time with my merchant. They're always contacting me, telling me I can't do this, I can't do that. So that's a part of our turnkey solution of trying to take all that off of the shoulders of the practice and allowing them to focus on what they do best and what they want to do.
Yeah, most of us aren't tech savvy. I know I always joke around when I started to work here 3.5 years ago, I had no idea what anybody was saying. You guys were all using words that I never heard of before. And I was like, I got to learn a new language. But now 3.5 years later, I understand what we're doing in the industry. And I think, as I always say, your clients and patients are so educated now on health. And I think practitioners and healthcare professionals are becoming so educated on technology. It's just where the industry is going. And so if you're not first, you're last. So I would encourage everybody, if you need to learn more about, this solution or just technology in general, that is something that I would encourage practitioners to do. It's going to be the wave of the future. People are not going back to just the brick and mortar. They like the convenience, as you were talking about, of shopping online. And I want to come back to that convenience point because I think that's a big one. Because I want to talk about looking like I'm selling and convenience and price warring. So just hold that thought for a second. One thing I wanted to say about affiliates is I've seen a ton of them go direct to consumer. So they like build off the backs of all these hardworking trusted advisors, these healthcare professionals. They get all of their clients and patients as customers, and then they go D2C and they just completely cut out the practitioner. I mean, I've seen that 3 times with very big affiliate styled, companies out there. So there's a risk in affiliates too, because once they get to a certain point, they don't need you anymore. One of the things. All right, so let's talk about your 3 principles: quality, trust, and convenience, and we'll kind of finish up with these. You talked on quality. I think the trust aspect is pretty good. I mean, I personally know that people get lost on Amazon, and please know that I love Amazon for what they do. They have set the industry standard for where we all need to come up to, right? So we always strive at GetHealthy to supply faster shipping and better customer service and all the marketing that you see and how people are conditioned now. But it's not me. When people go there, they always text me and say, hey, I saw this product on Amazon, or which one of these should I buy? And it's like 50 colloidal silvers. And I will send them a link to my store and I say, this is one you should buy because this is the one that I chose for my store and you should trust me. And so they do. I don't think people want that experience either, John. I don't think they want to go into a sea of products and try to figure it out. If I say this is my store and this is everything that I trust, guess what? They don't have a problem. They can buy anything from that store and they know it's good. So what's your thought?
Well, first thing on the quality side of things, we filter what product companies get onto our marketplace, our master catalog for practitioners to choose from. Amazon doesn't do that. Amazon does not have quality control. So we have some examples of fake products being on there, just marketing companies that who knows where they're getting product that if we as consumers go out there and take that active ingredient from the practitioner and put it into the search bar at Amazon, we're going to get a bajillion results. And human nature is to find the one that you think looks good and that is the cheapest. And you're like, I'm going to save a few bucks. And I've heard horror stories from practitioners being like, yep, they didn't listen to me. They went and bought some product. And if they would have bought my brand of vitamin D, their vitamin D levels would have moved, but they didn't. So we got to start over. So that quality aspect, especially relative to Amazon, hugely important. But your point on convenience, our clients, your clients want you to be prescriptive. Tell me what to buy. And if you give them a buying experience, a shopping experience under your brand, they're going to purchase. They don't want you to say, buy 1,000 IUs of vitamin D, or go buy look at an infrared sauna for detoxifying the body. They want you to say, well, here's the one that I like, and here's a link to go buy. And they want to support you. I'm sure you're going to have some rogue people or people that are like, well, I'm going to go see if I can find the best price. One of the things that we tell every supplier on our internet, I mean, on our marketplace, I'm like, we have smart buyers, smart consumers. So the prices that you provide us, that our practitioners are able to offer products, have to be at the lowest price possible. They're going to find that product elsewhere. So we've tried to cover off on that. So what ends up trumping everything else is convenience, trust that they already have in you. We're making sure that you have good quality products available. But just keep that in mind of, I don't want them to go elsewhere. So I need to provide them with a branded experience, and that will drive them to actually buy from you and not elsewhere.
And what I love about the technology is that, when you go to Amazon, you don't put one thing in your cart. I'm always putting two or three things. I'll get this later, save it, etc. It's the same experience on the Get Healthy store technology that's branded to the practitioner. So as soon as somebody lands on my store, they know it's me. It's my URL, it's my picture, my logo, my colors, like everything is in brand. So they feel safe already. And then they start cross shopping. You have big terms like lifetime value, right? Where you're like, it's lifetime value and they're going to continue to shop. And to me, I'm just like, oh, they bought a supplement for their husband and they got that red light mask and then they got little gummies for little Jimmy. So they start to like put things in their cart, not just supplements, but non-supplement products. Women are getting skincare and face wash and, the men are looking at stuff. And I mean, it's just all of this comes to life. So can you talk a little bit about that with how our multi-category layout really helps the practitioner increase revenue and average order value?
I'll try not to be too technical on this, but
Use small words.
yeah, you're providing the shopping experience, and just what you described happens. And lifetime value, or in more layman's terms, the value that a practitioner can provide to those buying from them over time. So if we decompose that, one of the things is you only have so many times up to bat, if you will. So many times that somebody's going to come to your engage with you and then potentially buy from you. So what you want to do is you want to provide a shopping experience for them to look around. In large retailers, when they look at lifetime value, they're looking at each time I'm up to bat, what is the amount that somebody's going to purchase? What's the average order value? That's a metric that we have, that we surface on the back of our technology so that a practitioner can see that. Well, that is really driven by the number of times they come see you, the number of products that they put in their cart, and the cost of those products. That's what drives average order value and lifetime value. So that's the equation. For you to have a long-term sustainable business and be able to live the lifestyle that you want to engage with those people that you do attract to your practice, or you as a health influencer, and be able to give them that best experience so that when they do engage with you, it's not that binary outcome. They buy, they don't buy. What it is they're like, I'm going to buy that. But then my kids need some children's chewables, or my husband, man, I've been trying to get him on a one a day. Now they shop around. So those are the underlying characteristics of the solution that you want, that drive the engagement that you want, that eventually drive the purchases, which is the more value that you're able to add to their life. You get better health outcomes. You also make a better living, and you don't have to always be, running on the treadmill of trying to be like, I need new clients, I need new clients, I need new clients. You build your practice to a size, you continue to add value to them, then over time they engage with you more and more, and you start making money when you're sleeping. They're at home late at night on their.
I don't feel like I sleep.
Yeah. Well, all of us, I find myself at odd times, early in the morning, late at night, looking on my computer or my phone and purchasing stuff.
Yeah.
So that experience is what everybody should want their buyers to experience, and it becomes a trusted, synergistic relationship between you as a health influencer, you as a practitioner, and a much larger audience over time that you can add value to.
Yeah. One of the things I want to end on, and this was kind of a thought when I was coming to interview you and thinking about affiliates, one of the big stigmas in our natural health functional medicine industry, people would always say, I don't want to look like I'm selling. I don't want to look like I'm selling, like I'm trying to sell a product. And then came the affiliate links, and now everybody looks like they're selling. So when people land on my store, I really think there is a piece. They're like, oh, okay, she's not trying to sell me this company or that company. And no offense, everyone has their own business structure. I don't mean for this to sound like presumptuous, but MLMs for some reason, even if they're great, they just get a bad rap. Like people will be like, don't inbox me and don't give me your MLM. I don't think there's anything wrong with multi-level marketing and companies that are great, if that's your game. But I think for my clients, they appreciate that I have taken the time to have my own store that has trusted products on it. And I'm not sending them out to all these affiliates trying to look like I'm selling. I send people to my store because they need something. And I know that's what other people do, but I think the industry mindset is shifting. There's too much affiliate now. It's just too much. And I think when you have your own branded store that actually has a dispensary tool on the back, we didn't even talk about that. We'll have to come back and talk about the value of dispensing products in a recommendation. So we'll save that for another time. But we do have that tool. When all of that comes together, where they're getting recommendations from me, from my store, and then they go back and refill their products on my store, and they don't even have to log in to do that, right? It's a guest shopping experience. So there's no wall that they have to hit and give me their email and their name and make an account if they don't want to. I just think it takes that I'm looking like I'm selling off, and it looks like I'm professionally recommending. So that's kind of what it was like my aha moment of like, why is this different? And I was like, oh, because it's me.
And they trust you.
Right. And I have a very loyal base. And I think they get offended when I send them off somewhere. They're like, well, what is this? I'm like, well, it's a company I like. They're like, well, do you use it? I'm like, well, yeah, that's why I'm sending it. So they just get real confused if I'm not sending them to my store. So I don't do that. Food for thought, I guess, from my professional experience, but maybe you have some thoughts on there.
I think this has been a great discussion today, and hopefully, I think the one thing that if practitioners could take out of it, it would be that be thinking about reinforcing your brand and that trusted health advisor relationship that you have with your audience, broadly speaking. And when you think about getting high quality products to your clients as a part of your business, they want you to be prescriptive, and they'll buy more and they'll get better health outcomes for they and their family, et cetera, if you provide that trusted advisor relationship as a part of your practice.
Yeah. Amen. I think we can end on that. So, well, thank you, John, for your creative mind, for solving an industry problem that practitioners didn't even know we had until it was brought to the forefront. And now I really feel like I couldn't do without my Get Healthy store. I love my store. I love being able to add products, no cost of goods sold, to be able to make money every day, to do all the things that you said, create bundles, do all the things. And we'll have to just really go through the technology. But what I would encourage everybody to do is get a demo. There's no obligation. You get to actually meet with a real person, ask your business questions. They're very fluent in understanding natural healthcare strategies, if this is a good solution. It's extremely affordable compared to everything else we waste our money on. And even with affiliates, you have to sign up and you have to buy a certain level of package every time. You still have to spend money to become an affiliate. It's not always that easy. And it's usually a couple $100s just to join. So just thinking these things through, that establishing your own brand and keeping it is extremely important. So thank you, John, for solving an issue. We very greatly appreciate it. And I think more and more people are going to realize that we go beyond the third party. We're more than just a dispensary. We keep the brand integrity. So leave us with a final thought or word.
I tell you, I love doing demos. So if somebody wants to do a demo with me, talk strategy, talk business strategy, any of that, I'm very willing to do that anytime.
Wow, from the CEO. Okay, guys, you heard it. John's booking calls. We'll put your link right in the show notes.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. So, guys, if you do want a demo, the link's in the show notes. Don't forget to share this podcast with another business owner that you think could benefit from hearing all this information. Make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast and also our social media, all of the things that keep you in touch with us. So, thanks for being here. Thanks, John, for sharing your expertise, and we'll see you next time.